This is it right here. I felt it. This is it, Paul. Yeah, yo. Hit the town, break them down, then I breeze out. Personally, I deal with birds of the D's out. They imported, you can shoot it, snort it. If you get busted or they caught it, just forget where you bought it. Niggas don't know the game cause they never was taught it. Gotta pay to play, some dudes just can't afford it. So this is the hustler's anthem for niggas like Freaky Lloyd Ganting them. My niggas like Mike Lou scooping them. Try to do it in NC like McCants and them. I see Jada drop dead with kisses front. Your bricks cost 24, mine 60 some. Swear to God, get it today, stack it tomorrow. Okay. And I got guns that I rack cabal. You know what the trigger do. Never let them figure you. And fiends got more loyalty than the niggas do.
Make no mistake about it. 9/11. Baby, and you know in New York, yellow cabs dominate. You couldn't find a cab nowhere near the Twin Towers. They knew. Wasn't a cab nowhere around. You couldn't catch a cab if your mama's life depended on it.
Today is National Voter Registration Day. Take a few minutes to visit iwillvote.com and make sure you're registered and have a plan to vote. Then check in with your friends and family and make sure they're registered too. Let's get this done.
And if you plan on being a poll person, like helping out or whatever, be safe. Be safe. You're going down there doing, your civic duty or whatever. Be careful down there.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy birthday to my mom. It's her 80th birthday today. She's 80 years young.
Nice. Happy birthday, fam. We love you.
And we hope you enjoyed today's episode. It's going to be a great day. Thanks.
Love you, baby.
Love you too.
Mwah. Yep, enjoy the episode. It's a John Coltrane in the back. I'm going to let that ride out for a minute.
Getting so serious, Now niggas can't fuck with me. Cool, stir me up. Don't stop. This is what I do on the daily, nigga.
The ghost is 2 nights. Fuck who you like. My diesels fitted in new nights. Big box of vanillas. You can get chopped in the cellar. Cause your bank straight popping the teller. Told you had when you watching a fella. Be smoother from a block where you can get popped if you yellow. White SLR drop, hit the top and it's yellow. Blunt smoke pop in the metal. Just can't stop being ghetto. God damn, it's hard being paid. You sucking harder than the vacuum, nigga. Jail shit when I see you on tour. Play the bathroom, nigga. You can bring your whole crew. I get at you, nigga. Deep blocking is more than a label. You food, I eat you and knock when I'm leaving the table. Chill niggas feel my shit.
What's your thoughts and opinions on this one, baby? See if we're ordering groceries online too. Oh, look who it is. Listen who it is. Let's hear what the black European saying.
And what Vice President...
What's his name, baby?
Byron Donalds.
Byron Donalds.
Unfortunately, there's still a lot of...
Let's see if Kate presses him.
Basically saying, her and her surrogates, that Donald Trump is some threat to democracy, which is a flat-out lie. And that lie can be proven to be a lie because he was already president of the United States. The country was thriving when he was president of the United States, and there were no new wars when he was president of the United States.
In terms of rhetoric, do you think Donald Trump, in the Trump campaign, do you think they have a problem with rhetoric as well?
No, and I don't. I think especially in light of the fact that there has now been a second assassination attempt on the life of President Trump, I do not believe so. What we are seeing now is that you do have radical elements of the Democrat Party, people who have been radicalized by the hateful rhetoric from Democrat officials, talking about how he's a threat to democracy, but that's simply not true. Talking about how he wants to bring in Project 2025, we know that is not true. That is a lie. Donald Trump has distanced himself from that. The Heritage Foundation has said he has nothing to do with it, but they say these things anyway. What Donald Trump has been talking about is we're going to fix our borders. We're going to have that it is the same rhetoric. There's no...
in the general rhetoric of the campaign, that the term that is often criticized, but that if you want to say both sides should address, but right, logically?
Well, actually, let's dig into this a little bit more. Thank you for bringing this up. Yes.
Basically begged him to tone it down. So if Republicans who even support you say that you've got a problem, you need to tone it down. You've got a mayor in Springfield, Ohio saying you guys need to tone it down because we now have bomb threats on schools in our area. There's a problem also, in the general rhetoric of the campaign, that the term that is often criticized, but that if you want to say both sides should address, but right, logically?
He goes between Bedminster and Mar-a-Lago and everywhere in between, which Bedminster and Mar-a-Lago are both on the same coast, but whatever. Like Bedminster is in New Jersey and Mar-a-Lago's on the west coast, on the east coast of Florida. So,
oh, Marjorie.
Whatever. How did Ryan Routh know Trump would be playing golf at the Palm Beach Club without being told?
What is she on?
She's saying that somebody told him. Well, wouldn't it be somebody in Trump's inner circle then? If it wasn't on a public schedule?
Wait, she's trying to say that the dude that was supposedly going to try to kill him
had inside information, like on where he...
A Democrat? Is she trying to say, or?
I don't know. But, like, if it's not on a public schedule, then only, like, his team would know. Is she trying to say the Secret Service had something to do with it?
It sounds like it. But here's the thing, in reality, what do they really have on this guy, though? The fact, as of right now.
Just the gun charges.
Right, because he
didn't fire his weapon.
Right.
But I don't know if...
his items in the woods of his.
But I don't know if setting up your sights is... the intent is there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all you have... At the end of the day, all you have, unless he tells on himself and says that's what his plan was, all you have are some items in the woods. You have a weapon that was leaned up against a fence. I still don't kind of understand that. How if they were shooting at him, how that weapon is leaned up against the fence.
Like, wouldn't it be on the ground?
Right, from being shot at. So that's kind of confusing.
The only thing is that if they... put that stuff up against the fence to take a picture of it.
Oh, afterwards? Maybe that was a police photo?
Instead of on the ground.
That's what I was wondering, was that a police photo? After, but at the end of the day, all they have is his stuff in the woods. You have food in the woods. They say, he was there for 11 or 12 hours or whatever. Okay. So that means he was possibly in the woods for 11 hours. They said he wasn't in sight of the president. You arrested him in his car, pulled him over. So, where's the assassination attempt? Yeah, a good attorney will get that. Should be able to get the bulk of those charges dismissed. Because at the end of the day, in reality, it's trespassing. I mean, besides the weapons, I don't know if he was supposed to have them or not or whatever. All that is separate, but as far as
Ain't that just trespassing? In reality, plus whatever gun charges, but like that is trespassing.
Yeah. And I don't know if because he had the gun pointed, whatever, if that's considered attempted assassination.
But you can't even say that. They said like he wasn't even in sight of the president.
Right.
So yeah, a good attorney should be able to get rid of that though. But let's see what else we got going on out here, y'all. Nikki Haley to make audio debut as host of Nikki Haley Live. No one cares. No one cares.
Sidebar, you want some chicken?
Oh yeah, we're ordering groceries. Sorry, y'all. Yeah. We should fry it up.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get cutlets.
You know, get some cutlets, yeah. Get some we haven't had fried chicken in a while. With like some mashed potatoes on the side, or some au gratin potatoes or something like that. Decent. Yeah. I got one more clip here. Let's see.
From the last 10 years, I think the thing that we have to take away from the last 10 years is that we really need to be really ruthless when it comes to the exercise of power. I was talking about this with someone earlier today, where you remember there was some threat that congressional or Senate Republicans made. If you get rid of the filibuster, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And you actually look at it, it's like, oh, this is not that interesting.
This is at J.D. Vance.
Like delivering on our promises that we've made for decades. Sounds this is the threat. If you get rid of the filibuster, we're going to do this stuff. Like they're talking about expanding the Supreme Court. They're talking about adding, 2 senators from heavily Democratic places.
You get rid of the filibuster, we'll actually deliver on defunding that
you know we don't want to do. Yeah. So I think. I mean, look, I am a cynic about this and maybe even a little bit of a pessimist, but I think the challenge confronting American conservatives is that we have lost every major powerful institution in the country, except for maybe churches and religious institutions, which of course are weaker now than they've ever been. We've lost big business, we've lost finance, we've lost the culture, we've lost the academy, and if we're going to actually really affect real change...
Why are they always calling Democrats radical? I don't get that. There's nothing radical. Like, what's radical about Kamala Harris?
Like, what's radical about fairness for everybody?
That's what I'm saying.
When you're saying that's crazy,
it's crazy that they
don't think
that way.
That things should be fair across the board. Yeah. Now Trump is saying he's not going to tax. He's going to eliminate the federal tax on Social Security.
Wait, what?
You know how people have to pay taxes on their Social Security checks?
Yeah.
He said, which I kind of think is bullshit, because that was already taken out of your paycheck.
Mm-hmm. So he wants to...
Get rid of the tax. I mean, I actually think they should do that anyway, regardless of who the president is, but he's not going to do that. That's just a selling point.
And they know that, too. But they don't care.
Right.
Trump can literally say anything at this point.
I mean,
his base ain't going nowhere.
But if Congress was totally fine with that, they would have done it a long time ago.
Sure.
I mean, because I do think it's bullshit that people that are strictly living on Social Security have to pay taxes on that.
Oh, no, because that's taken away from some of that income. That's literally all they have.
And then it's not like a true paycheck.
And
it's kind of, a lot of people barely get by on Social Security. So
didn't they raise the age on it? It went up, too. To be eligible for Social Security now?
I mean, it's 65, but to get max dollars, you have to work till you're 70.
Right. That's what I meant. And then, who's getting a job? Like, who... If you're someone retired and your Social Security ain't what it should be, and you try to get another job. Are there restrictions on jobs too? Can you only work part-time if you're getting Social Security too?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the other thing.
Like you can't work full. Well, no, I want to say you can work full time and get social security.
You should be able to. I was gonna say, like,
Some
you can't
people,
have the benefits be shit and then tell someone you can only work part-time to keep getting them. You know? Like, a person should always be able to work if they want to, as much as they want. Like,
I also feel it's stupid. Like, at 65, you get $2,000 a month. But if you make it in the workforce till 70, you get more.
Get way more than that.
So they want you to work. The incentive is to work longer so that you're paying taxes longer.
Mm-hmm. Dude was an immigrant. Maybe that's what his book is about.
Oh, maybe. But yeah, like Trump's tweet yesterday was like more hate.
More hate. And he knows his people want to hear that.
Yeah, that like riles up his crowds and his base.
You know what? Kamala's up 6 points this morning.
Oh, and
the latest poll I saw was 52-46. What were you saying, babe?
His book, An American Story, Everyone's Invited.
Oh, let's see what you're talking about.
Book.
Wilmer Valderrama used to be on that 70 show.
Is he Filipino?
On the government.
I think he's Latino.
And it didn't succeed. But that was a sign of things to come. And I don't know how my dad had the foresight. He had the foresight that we needed to go.
You talked about him having to sell some of his farm equipment and eventually this fantastic Cadillac that everybody was, oogling at. Yeah. You get to the States, and this is where the immigrant story really matches up with a lot of people's stories. You get to the States, and you're driving from one place to the other across the country, but you end up sort of not homeless, but you're with family, and then you get
We didn't have a home, so we were quite homeless, yes.
What was that experience like? And tell me about some of the difficulties and how the family dealt with that, because it's something that a lot of people experience.
Well, it's a tough thing. I think ultimately, we were very grateful to be in this country. We were like, wow, this is a place where anything really can happen. My dad had a brother in Los Angeles. We stayed with him for a couple of weeks. That didn't turn out too well, really quickly. It was just a small house. It was too many of us. Yeah. But my dad had to kind of hustle and try to find any jobs he could. So he was driving mechanic parts from shops to shops. He had a for sale sign in his car, all year round. He would sell that car for a little profit, buy another one, put a for sale sign, and while he's using the car. But it's a story that I feel I can really connect with most of anyone in this country, no matter where you come from. There is a story that that we had to overcome in order to be sustainable, to keeping the light on. And so it was a really tough time, but at the same time, we felt things were going to be okay. You look outside the window and you see the American flag, and you know that anything is possible as long as you pay it back and you give it back to this beautiful country.
You're absolutely an example of anything is possible. You played Fez in that 70s show. You were also, I want to roll the tape because this is what I remember you from, Yo Mama. Which
I love it.
It's your show. You remember this? Oh my God, I swear to God.
Kid's so serious, Y'all niggas can't fuck with me. Cool, stir me up. Don't stop. This is what y'all doing the daily, nigga.
The ghost is too nice. Fuck who you like. My diesels fitted in new nights. Big box of vanillas. You can get chopped in the cellar. Hit the bank straight popping the teller. Told you had when you watching a fella. Beef smoother from a block where you can get popped if you yellow. White SLR drop. Hit the top and it's yellow. Blunt smoke pop in the metal. Just can't stop being ghetto. God damn, it's all being P. You sucking harder than a vacuum, nigga. Chill shit when I see you on tour. Play the bathroom, nigga. You can bring your whole crew. I get at you, nigga. Deep blocking is more than a label. You food, I eat you and knock when I'm leaving the table. Chill, niggas feel my shit.
Music interlude. Enjoy the Styles P. LOX D Block.
Life is a circle of pain. The dark is clouds, end up like the purplest rain. They say patience is the virtue to gain. Fuck it, I guess I died when my brother died. Cause to tell you the truth, I feel like I'm the curse in the game. My vision is blurred, dreams are shattered, my heart is broke. Pain so deep, I find it hard to cope. Missing your smile, missing your style. I figured I'm the next one there so we can kick it a while. But your name lives on, the sun still shine. Every time your baby mom lift up your child, I guess I gotta switch my angle now. Take a positive look, hit a blunt, my little brothers with the angels now. Some of us fall and some of us fly, but at the end of the book, baby, all of us die. Word, my niggas. There's my brother. I can smile, cause I know we right next to Allah, right next to the prophets and the soldiers that died, and all the angels in the heaven that behold in the sky. There's my brother. I could cry for the fact I can't hug him no more, but my tears go to heaven, and I know this nigga feel me even good niggas. He ain't got to worry no more. I said.
So I'm sure some of y'all have heard this already, but I'm gonna play it anyways. This is the bullshit racing that's still going on out here. So let's listen. This is white dude, and at this point it really doesn't even matter what his name is, because everyone else is already after him, you know, on the Twitters and all that, the Facebooks and all that. So I just want to highlight the bullshit he's saying, and it goes to the point how I'll be telling Michelle sometimes how I feel like there's a lot of more white people that use the N-word and that are disrespectful to black and brown people in private. When you listen to this clip, you can tell this white man, he called Kamala the N-word. I mean, it slipped out. It slipped out. It was like he forgot he was being interviewed for a minute, because I'm certain this is how this dude talks in private to his family, his friends, just using the N-word. And I know there's a lot more that's going on. You know what I'm saying? So let's listen to what this cockazoid is saying. And he's being interviewed by a journalist, a TV person that's supposed to be balanced and fair and all that. And then she didn't even say anything when he said the N-word. She didn't even say anything. Let's listen.
Geese from Pond. I think it was in that interview where Dana Bash says, the police have gone through 11 months of recordings of calls, and they've only found 2 Springfield residents calling to complain about Haitian migrants taking geese. Springfield residents calling to complain about Haitian migrants taking geese from ponds. Only 2.
See what I'm saying?
Calls, and I think one lesson in this whole story: people don't care about geese. People really hate geese. They all things considered, I think people would prefer Haitian migrants to come and take the geese off the golf course, right? So as pets, it's the cats and dogs has become the standard. Geese clearly don't matter. I mean, I think it was in that interview where Dana Bash says, the police have gone through 11 months of recordings of calls, and they've only found 2 Springfield residents calling to complain about Haitian migrants taking geese from.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what they're doing out here, y'all. That's what they're doing out here. Now, check this out. Now, you know how we talk about interracial dating and all that kind of stuff, and I've even talked about it before. I know that there's some white men, they hate seeing black men date white women, or they hate to see, Latin men with white women. They hate it. They absolutely hate it. Some of them, I said. They hated the thought of a black man, having sex with a white woman. They hate it. So let's see what's going on here. This is a white woman, and she's having a conversation. She says she walked out on a date with a white guy because she told him that she had slept with a black guy before. And I guess he lost his shit, and he just didn't want to have anything to do with her after. So let's see. We'll hear it out her mouth.
At this point, the date was over for me. A man left me at a bar after he found out I slept with a black man. So I met this guy online, and we decided that we were going to go on a date. We were only talking for a couple days, but it was going well, and I was like, hey, it's Sunday. What are you up to today? You want to watch some football? We'll get a drink. And he was like, yeah, for sure. So we met at a bar. We're hanging out. I am not one that's like, how many people have you slept with? What's your number? Blah, blah. We're fucking adults. I could care. Are you clean? I don't like. Why is this still? It isn't a thing. But we were watching football, which led into a conversation about someone that I had slept with, and so we were talking about it. And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Put back a little bit." And I was like, "What do you mean, what?" And he was like, "He's black." I was like, yeah, I'm fucking aware. So I was a little put off by it, but then he got, like, super intense, and he was like, you fucked a black man? And I was like, sure. Like, he turned into, like, an exorcist. I was like, what? Dude, what? And to be fair, at this point, the date was over for me, but I was like, what is wrong with you? And he, like, went into this whole big thing about, I'm not even going to repeat all the shit he said about, like, being dirty and all that, and I was like, what is wrong? So this is where I started to plan my exit, and I was like, okay, how am I going to get out of here? I can't freaking sit here with this guy anymore. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Now, I drove myself, so I full-on planned on whatever, leaving by myself anyway, but I was like, okay, I'm trying not to ghost people or be like a crazy person. He had my phone number, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I come back out, he was gone. I was like, that worked out fucking perfect. So I sat at the bar for the rest of the time. I met the bartender. Her name was Tara. We had a great time. And what in the actual fuck is dating? A man like...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The racism out here is alive and well. So if you're not someone that's a racist, we need you on our side to help fight against this bullshit. Your white people, you know, have the guts to call your white acquaintances or your white supposed friends that end up... Because this stuff happens a lot. This stuff happens a lot where you have, like, a white person and then they're around other white people that they think are their friends or acquaintances or whatever. And then that white person ends up saying something disrespectful or racial. And then just like this woman, you're like taken aback, like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, be careful out here. Know who you're around. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I hope everyone's doing good. It's Tuesday morning, y'all. And, yeah, we're back to the work week. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Yeah, I'm just sipping on some coffee, watching the news. And getting it together. Back to the episode. I got one more I'm going to play for y'all. This is a video clip of, there's this white dude, he's asking, I think it's a white man, he's asking like Russian people and stuff like that, their thoughts and opinions on Americans. And not that, you know, the Russians and America's not like we have the best relationship or anything, but it is interesting just to see and just hear, you know, what other nationalities of people think about us, whether they're true or not or any of that. It's just interesting to see the comments that they have about us. So I'm just going to play some of this. So they're asking Russians what stereotypes that they know about Americans. So they're just asking them about the stereotypes they've heard of. So let's see. And you know, Michelle and I talk about stereotypes all the time. Let's just see what they're talking about. Wow, 25 million people have viewed this post. Let's see. You know, and you and I and whoever else is listening, you know, you can decide for yourself how you feel about what they're saying. This is the first time I'm listening. I just thought it'd be interesting to just hear what other people think about us. Let's see. So they're asking Russians what stereotypes they know about Americans.
Russians what stereotypes they know about Americans.
Тупые. Устроили геноцид против коренного населения. Всегда пьют газировку и едят бургеры.
Ну, Техас, ковбои скачут там на лошадях, кто на быках такие. И каньоны.
У них большой долг, госдолг.
The one dude that you heard talking right now, because they have the closed caption on here, because, you know, obviously you can't understand what they're saying, some of them. But the one dude, he was just saying in Russian, he said stereotypes of Americans are that like white guys like ride horses and shoot cows and all that kind of stuff and hunt. That's what he was saying.
Они любят фастфуд, тот же, что и мы, картошку фри, бургеры, депрессивные дети.
Наверное, стереотип, что, они не умеют готовить.
И не готовят. Стереотип, что они ходят в пижамах прямо на улице, не чешутся, не расчесываются.
Да, что они, не любят ухаживать за собой, Жень.
За то, что американцы толстые, и они еще тупые. География очень плохо.
Oh, this ain't gonna work, y'all. They're speaking in Russian. They're all speaking in Russian. So let's see. I'm gonna stop the clip. It was a minute long. But so basically, they're speaking in Russian, but they're saying, this lady's saying they're really bad at geography. George Bush confused Iran with Iraq. Let's see some of the other ones. They said, I guess they can't cook, and they don't cook. This other person says, well, Texas cowboys riding horses, bulls, and whatnot. And then... yeah, someone says they're really bad at geography. George Bush confused Iran with Iraq. And they say American women don't take care of themselves. They can go out dressed in rags with no makeup. Wow. And then says, well, they are shallow and narrow-minded. That's what another person had to say about us. And they say they are limited people, so to speak. Damn, they're just shitting on us. I guess that's what they feel about us over there.
I am your border president from now on.
Yeah, it's truly a mess out here, though, you guys. And it's getting to the point where you have to have a neck like an owl. Just to be able to see and observe everything. Let's see here.
Senate seat in Pennsylvania. Where that seat goes, Senate control goes too. But if the Democrats can't lose Bob Casey's U.S. Senate seat in Pennsylvania, where that seat goes, Senate control goes too. But it's more than that. They can't let a good guy like Bob Casey, who's been a staunch advocate for women's rights, lose to a bad guy like Dave McCormick. That guy is bad news for women for a whole bunch of reasons. According to a new article in USA Today, the carpetbagger Republican has a track record of disrespecting and mistreating women. The article cites a book called The Fund, which details McCormick's toxic tenure as CEO of Bridgewater Associates. The book details accounts of how McCormick pressured women to stay silent about sexual misconduct and threatened them with litigation if they spoke out. The workplace environment with McCormick at the helm was rife with abuse and unchecked sexual harassment. Someone like that shouldn't be anywhere near the United States Senate. Hell, he's the kind of guy Bob Casey works to protect women from. We need to get the word out about this. Share the article, read the book, but most importantly, donate what you can to Bob Casey.
So support Bob Casey for U.S. Senate, Democrat.
All pitch in to make sure.
Let's see what we got here. Florida boy arrested. He perp walked and thrown in jail after bragging about a kill list and showing off an arsenal of weapons. This is a white kid. Yeah. Florida boy arrested. Perp walked and thrown in jail after bragging about a kill list. Let's see.
Get things started for you. Yep.
All right, sir. Careful as you can. You're going to be walking over here to the gate over here, all right? Slow and steady. What you here for today?
Raise the other foot. All right. Come on in here. Have a seat in the cell. We're going to gather up some paperwork and get things started for you. Do you have any questions? All right.
Florida ain't bullshitting. This looks like this little kid there, this little white kid too. It says, Florida don't mess around. Every time we make an arrest, your kid's photo is going to be put out there. We're going to come and get you. This is what they're saying. This is Florida. What does it say? Every time we make an arrest, your kid's photo is going to be put out there. We're going to come and get you. We're going to put you out for public embarrassment, said Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood. 11-year-old Carlo Kingston Dorelli showed his arsenal to classmates and threatened violence. Yeah, this is a little brown kid. He just looks real fair-skinned. So that's why they're treating him like that. This little white kid, ain't no telling if he would even have got arrested. But this kid does look white, but his name sounds brown. See, I'm stereotyping too. 11-year-old Carlo Kingston Dorelli showed his arsenal to classmates and threatened violence. Dorelli was charged with a felony for the written threat of a mass shooting. Good. The sheriffs also published a video of the boy being led into the jailhouse with handcuffs on. Yeah, it's definitely a white.
What we're going to start doing Monday is, since parents, you don't want to raise your kids, I'm going to start raising them. Every time we make an arrest, your kid's photo is going to be put out there. Every time we make an arrest, your kid's photo is going to be put out there. And if I could do it, I'm going to perp walk your kid so that everybody can see what your kid's up to.
All right, sir.
Wow.
Careful as you can. You're going to be walking over here to the gate over here,
Yeah,
all right?
that's a Latin kid. That's why they're treating him like that.
Steady. What you here for today?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Put that foot down.
But that's the thing, man. Like, what's up with all these gun lovers? You got 12 and 13-year-old kids running around shooting people and got guns, access to guns. What does a 12 or 13-year-old, why are they so interested in weapons at that age? Because that goes to a bigger question. What kind of stuff are they seeing and listening to in the house and all that? What are their parents talking about? Like, what kinds of things are they saying? Because no 12-year-old should be that intrigued with weaponry that early on. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Let's see. What else we got? They're saying Trump's involved in a cryptocurrency scam, too. So, okay. So, yeah, that MAGA lunatic, that white guy that was calling people the N-word, just straight out with it. His name is Rich Lowry. That's Rich, Lowry. We're going to play this again.
Go ahead. You remember Alternative Facts with Kellyanne? They did the same thing. She wasn't...
Finally, he said something to the effect of, look, if we have to create stories in order to bring attention to what's happening, the media... He admits they made it up, right? As opposed to... And if you listen to the full clip, he says, by drawing attention to what's happening on the ground, it's just...
Right.
As the line goes online, you don't hate the media enough. Go ahead.
You remember Alternative Facts with Kellyanne? They did the same thing. She wasn't saying you make up fictions and pretend they're facts. You bring other facts to bear in the debate that are being ignored. And that's what he was saying. And I think it was in that interview where Dana Bash says, the police have gone through 11 months of recordings of calls, and they've only found 2 Springfield residents calling to complain about Haitian migrants taking geese from ponds. Only 2 calls. And I think one lesson in this whole story, people don't care about geese. People really hate geese. They, all things considered, I think people would prefer Haitian migrants to come and take the geese off the golf course, right? So it's pets, it's the cats and dogs has become the standard. Geese clearly don't matter.
That's what they're saying out here, y'all. Trump says communist left rhetoric is why bullets are flying and it will only get worse. Now that's some bullshit. Trump is the reason we're all unsafe out here. Him. Yeah, dudes, he's just saying anything. No, and listen to this J.D. Vance idiot. He says, this is out his mouth, he says, no one has tried to kill Kamala Harris in the last couple of months. Well, you idiot, isn't that a good thing? I say that's a good thing. So, and let me say, like, no one, like, this political violence shit is ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? And, like, we should all be able to stomp and speak up for our candidate or whatever and not have to worry about being killed. But here's the issue. I think this lady can say better. This is a Democrat.
And how much he is contributing to it.
Wow. All right. Joining us to discuss, Jonah Goldberg, CNN political commentator, co-founder of The Dispatch. Alex Thompson, CNN political analyst, national political reporter for Axios. Karen Finney, CNN political commentator, former senior advisor to Hillary Clinton's 2016.
Seeing what you have happening is you have these Republicans, they won't call out none of this stuff. When they hear one of their fellow Republicans or something talking, you know, being racist or saying some disrespectful stuff, they won't even call it out. They automatically, like, anytime you call a Republican out on something, it doesn't matter what it is. You can have all the factual shit sitting right in front of them. You can have the quote coming out of the person's mouth that said the stuff or whatever. You can play the video and they'll still deny it, or they'll deflect, or they'll... Why do Republicans always want to refer to Hunter Biden or Joe Biden? Joe Biden's not running anymore, y'all. And I'm tired of hearing Republicans talking about, oh, well, you know, the Democrats, they got rid of Joe Biden. They just, you know, pushed him to the side and all this. Yo, I'll pull up the video clips again if I need to. But I remember Republicans, too. Some Republicans were talking about Joe Biden needs to step down. After that debate, they were saying how old he sounded and how he needed to just go away and all this and this and that. And how they, you know, they can't understand him, how he's sleeping in the basement, and he needs to go away and he needs to drop out the race. Republicans were calling for that. But now, after things didn't work out, because they thought Biden would drop, they thought they could get Biden to drop out and then have Kamala be in there, and they thought they were just going to beat her too. They're like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? We'll be able to beat her. The little black woman, she's not going to beat us, she's not going to win, and it's not working out how they thought. So now they're crying out, oh, they got rid of Biden. No, y'all were asking for that too. Y'all were asking for Biden to step down as well, just as well as some of the Democrats were. So I don't want to hear none of that. But yeah, I'm convinced this world is about race, because I'm still hearing, like I said, and it's that smaller amount, but I'm still hearing that smaller amount of black people being like, oh, I still got to think things through. I'm still looking into stuff, and I got to figure out what? What is there to figure out? So you be willing to potentially vote for a racist person. We all know he's a racist. We just do. We've all heard it. You know, I would assume all of our ears work the same. So we're hearing the same comments, you know what I mean? But like I said, so when we know, dude, Trump's history of racism, right? We know that. And the people that he's tied to and all that stuff. So for that small amount of black people that are still willing to be like, oh, well, I'm still considered, I don't know what I'm doing, that you don't care about racism then. You don't care about racism. You can't. And you can't sit there and say that you do. Because there'd be nothing to think about. It should be based off what those individuals say. Wouldn't it make more sense wouldn't it make the most sense, if anything, for a black and brown person to be, even if you're not for Kamala, which you have a right to not be, but shouldn't it at this point, if you're somebody black or brown, shouldn't it be you're either voting for Kamala or you're not voting at all? Right? Instead of, oh, I'm still weighing my options. So then someone that says that, what you're telling me is that you're considering voting for a racist. That's what you're saying. At the end of the day, that's what you're saying that you're considering doing. You know what I mean? So, and then it kills me too to hear when black Trump supporters or Latin Trump supporters or whatever, when other black and brown people question them or ask them why they're willing to vote, because you got to expect that, because it's not a normal thing for black and brown people to be voting for a clearly known racist and a criminal and all that, a sexist, all that shit, disrespectful, old, angry, mad at the world man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I come to believe, is that black and brown people that are willing to vote for him are still talking about, I'm still looking things over. I'm still considering. That means that racism isn't a deal breaker for you. Cause why wouldn't you just go on and vote for Kamala? You know, just on the character shit. Cause my thing is this. For the people that say they're voting for Trump, they say it's because of the economy or whatever and shit like that. You're not going to lose everything. If you decide to vote for Kamala, you're not going to lose everything. And Trump ain't talking about nothing about the economy. When has he came up there and talked about a detailed plan or anything? He had a rally, what was it, last week? He literally had on the backdrop, it said, he was talking about no taxing tips or whatever, and then he was supposed to talk about his economic plan or whatever. They literally had the stuff on the backdrop behind him saying what he was going to be talking about. He never discussed any of that. He was ranting the whole time. Aren't you Trump supporters upset at that? You guys are paying money to come to these rallies. His donors are paying him his campaign and shit like that. Y'all know he's using that money for his lawyer fees and all that shit. But then he gets up there and doesn't talk about any of it. So don't you feel like he's wasting your money and shit? And you know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I don't even think Trump cares about being president anymore. A lot of his court cases are going away, being dismissed, being dropped, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm just ready for this Trump shit to be over. You know, even if we got to go through more election stuff, because the Republicans are going to cry foul if they lose and all that. They're already laying the groundwork. There's one of them representatives or whatever from Oklahoma, and they were asking him the other day if he would certify the results and stuff, you know, if Republicans lost, and dude was sitting there saying, I don't know. The fuck you mean you don't know? Yeah, Republicans are out here tripping, man. This is some Twilight Zone shit. But yeah, before I get back to that, I'll just say, as far as immigration and stuff, that's another thing. If immigration is really an issue for Americans, then do something about it. Don't just cry about it every 4 years when election time rolls around, because that's what happens. You can go back throughout history, and I've even played clips before of politicians talking about, on the right and the left, politicians talking about immigration and all this, and all their plans and just all the stuff, right? Every time. You can go back to the 70s, the 80s, and 90s. Every 4 years during an election, a presidential election, you hear about immigration. But in between that time, you don't hear shit about it. So for white people and black people and brown, for the ones that are against immigrants being here and all that and stuff. Because there's some people that like I had told Michelle yesterday, hey, if you asked, I feel like if you polled white people and just asked them, just, hey, do you want black and brown people in this country here, yes or no? Not like take out all the variables and all that kind of stuff, like legally and illegally, and if they have patent, like just take all that out. Just the question would be, do you, white people, do you want black and brown people in this country, yes or no? I'd be willing to bet over 60% of white people would say no, they don't want us here. I truly believe that they just don't want us here at all. I feel like white America would be fine with it just being white America. Because in reality, us as black and brown people, we're just in their way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In their minds. That's how they look at us. Because for the most part, as black and brown people, we're just entertainment to them. They love us when we're playing basketball, football, and shit, and when we're rapping and stuff, and when we're winning championships and gold medals and all that kind of stuff. They love that shit. But as soon as we start speaking up against stuff and talking about we need this or we want that or this is wrong or hey, what, then they basically want to tell us to shut the fuck up and go somewhere. Well, I'm not shutting up and I'm not going nowhere. So, let's get some music going, y'all.
I mean, I read online they're protected.
So, for those of y'all that aren't familiar with Latin Heritage Month, I'm sorry, National Hispanic Heritage Month. I like to say National Latina or Latino Heritage Month, because Latin and Hispanic, there's a difference. There's a lot that goes into that. But National Hispanic Heritage Month is annually celebrated from September 15th to October 15th in the United States for recognizing the contributions and influence of Latin Americas to the history, culture, and achievements of the United States. So, National Hispanic Heritage Week was established by legislation sponsored by Representative George Brown Jr. of Los Angeles and signed into law by President Lyndon Johnson in 1968. Shout out LA, that's where my mother was born. By President Lyndon Johnson in 1968, taking place on the week including both September 15th and 16th. In 1988, the commemorative, I can't say that word, was expanded to a month, September 15th to October 15th, by legislation sponsored by Representative Esteban Torres, a Democrat, amended by Senator Paul Simon and signed into law by President Ronald Reagan. September 15th was chosen as a starting point for the commemoration because it is the anniversary of the Cry of Dolores early morning, September 16, 1810, which marks the start of the Mexican War of Independence, and thus resulted in 1821 in independence from the New Spain colony, now Mexico, and the Central American nations of Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Honduras, and Nicaragua, which became the Federal Republic of Central America. Hispanic Heritage Week was first proclaimed by President Johnson in 1968 in Presidential Proclamation 3869. Presidents Nixon, Ford, Carter, and Reagan gave annual proclamations for Hispanic Heritage Week between 1969 and 1988. National Hispanic Heritage Month was first proclaimed by President George H. Bush on September 14, 1989, in Presidential Proclamation 6021. Since 1989, all presidents have given a presidential proclamation to mark Hispanic Heritage Month. And some of the annual events that they have are, they have like jazz. They have a Latin Jazz Festival in the Bronx, and that's held annually in September to coincide with Hispanic Heritage Month. The Smithsonian Institution hosts Hispanic Heritage Month events in Washington, D.C. One event is is the Zoo Fiesta. In 2018, the Smithsonian National Museum of the American Indian hosted the Realm of the Jaguar series of performances featured dances of Bolivia, Mexico, and Guatemala, in addition to mask making and traditional and contemporary ceramics. Let's see. Military commemorations. National Hispanic Heritage Month is a time for the U.S. military to honor both fallen and active duty Hispanic Americans who served in the armed forces. 61% of Hispanic heritage have been awarded the Medal of Honor. 2 were presented to members of the Navy, 13 to members of the U.S. Marine Corps, and 46 to members of the U.S. Army. During the month, the U.S. Army commemorates the long-standing and remarkable contributions that Latinos have made in building and defending the nation. As of September 18th, 136,000 Latin soldiers served, composing 13.8% of the Army. According to the official Army website, the goal during Latin Heritage Month is to celebrate the diverse and inclusive environment of the U.S. Army. You know, black and brown soldiers don't always get treated the best, though, when they come home. We all know that. Yeah. The month-long celebration provides more time to properly recognize the significant contributions Hispanic/Latino Americans have made in the United States. Hispanic Heritage Month does not cover one single month, but instead begins in the middle of September and ends in the middle of October. So, and basically the main idea of Hispanic Heritage Month is to just celebrate our history, our culture, the contribution stuff that we've contributed to the United States. You know what I mean? It runs from September 15th to October 15th. And the theme for the 2024 is Pioneers of Change, Shaping the Future Together. This theme recognizes the many Hispanic and Latinos who have paved the way for future generations. Shout out my family. Shout out my mom. Shout out my Aunt Barbara, my Aunt Betty, my uncles, all my cousins. I love y'all. And peace.
Check me out now. I'm refreshing like that new car smell. Get ready for this ride, hold on to the guardrail. They tried to go against us, motherfuckers all fell. Steady making bread while yours is all stale. I'm on point with it, you slower than a Sunday. Every day a Friday to a Santa hump day. Chillin' in the whip, I'm getting comfy. Bit by the money bug, was wildin' when it stung me. Fresh out the dungeon with some souls, never make it out. Life a bitch, but me and her just finished making out. Never sit still, so the food I order take out. Like a nigga that we got a milk and take out. Push the envelope like the knob on the mixer. With the fingers I fingered your wife with, nigga. I'm a fixture in this rap shit, get used to it. You not speaking what I'm speaking, better get fluent. Yeah. Try to tell him.
Yeah, Trump needs to drop out, though. I know my voice doesn't carry any weight, but I'm calling and asking on you Republicans. You know what I mean? They got some power or whatever, or they can start throwing a little weight around, or just getting the word out there. Y'all know that, man. Trump needs to drop out this race and just go on about his way, just go on about his business. He's making the country unsafe. Time out for that, for you Trump supporters that want to try to attach to this and make it seem like he's some kind of hero. No, he's not a hero. He's a trouble starter. He has his attitude, behavior, and all the shit he's done and said is having a negative ripple effect on this country here in the United States, and we're all less safe because of it. You know it, I know it, we all know it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just speaking in general. This country is less safe because of the shit he's doing and saying. The man's 80 years old. Just let him go on and deal with his court cases. Republicans, y'all need to start having that conversation about replacing him and getting him out of here now.
They've never seen anything like it. Two suspects put the top down on a convertible, sped through the rain,
Thanks for listening to Monday's episode, y'all. We appreciate it.
Plane to a private island if you ain't get to meet me yet. They call me Ghost. I'm a god if you ain't greet me yet. Downshifting in some informants to see me drift. I drift off in my thoughts and make the dope wrap up. God forbid I backslide and pick the coat back up. Got no time for the drama. They love me in the trenches. El Jefe in the mud. You are looking at a little farm. Probably hand scammer in a sick boat. Big float. Supercharger turbo in the whip. Yeah, Skid Row. Know I'm blasting Death Row. Know I'm blasting Esco. Probably playing showroom. Right out of the showroom. Need some motivation, nigga. Look at me. Let's go. Entrepreneur. So raw. Right on the 10th floor. Hitting bent. Bumping to my niggas. I get bent more. Air shit out. Let me rhyme. I'm a vent, y'all. Kill a big. Take the cage. Fuck, I need a 10-4. Call a plug. He gon' come. Anytime he send for. Never play with me if you know what a bullet's meant for. Jet life. D-block. Niggas should repent more. Ghost.
For these two men running from the police turned into a bizarre scene right out of a Hollywood movie.
So what do you think, baby, about the newest Trump drama going on?
I mean, I definitely, one could see, if you're into conspiracies, one could see, seems odd, right?
Michelle went right to the conspiracy theory. I love it.
But
we're not conspiracy theorists,
no,
but
I'm
like
saying
if stuff...
you can see, is that a cat or a...
Where? Let's see.
Or a rabbit.
Let's see.
I mean, one could see how one could think that.
Let's go see what that is, yeah. We're over here chilling. Oh, that's a little rabbit. Yeah. One could see what, baby?
It looked like a little cat.
Yeah.
One could see how if somebody was into that, they would think.
I mean, you definitely have something to run away with right away.
Yes.
You have a start.
Yes. But the likelihood of
what would the conspiracy
like
theory be, though? I guess on this one,
that the government is trying to kill him,
or the Democrats,
or whatever. But
which is total nonsense.
I mean, that's pretty extreme, and I don't think anybody in their right mind would.
Not in their right mind, right?
Like,
but
I mean, this isn't Russia, for crying out loud.
And this dude is the guy that. Supposedly, this is the only thing that I'm questioning as far as, I guess I'm going to lean towards he wanted to shoot Trump.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards that, but they said that there's been people that have gone in between those like brushes or rubbish or whatever and have gotten onto the thing and have taken pictures of Trump and stuff while he's golfing. So I guess my point is, like, we don't know that, just as us, as people, we don't know if he had ill intent. I don't know, maybe he was hunting.
Right.
Trying to give him an out. Trying to give him an out.
I mean, I just don't think it's as... Like, whenever anything happens, people always think of, like, the conspiracy of it. Right?
Automatically. The minds go to that.
I just don't think that's the case, but you could see it.
You could see it. People, there's gonna be all kinds of theories and stories. I'm glad it's not any kind of migrant. Because if it was staged,
or just non-white.
Right, if it was staged, they would have made sure it was someone non-white. Because then they would have tried to run with the immigrants are coming over here to hurt a story. That's what they would have tried to roll out with. And if you notice, what's the common theme? This white adult male's doing this stuff. This dude is a registered Republican. He voted for Trump.
Yep.
So that goes to show you how people are like, it's time for dude.
Right. It's time to call it a day.
It's time to call it a day on Trump. Like, he just needs to just go away. We don't want, I mean, you know what I'm saying. I mean, I wouldn't mind if he died. I don't want him to be assassinated, but like if he just naturally just like didn't wake up, I'd be okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you obviously just as a human don't want to see somebody else get shot, obviously. I know, Charlie, that's very confusing.
Especially on live TV. But that's two now. I've never witnessed anything like this. And we're not that old. And I haven't witnessed a presidential candidate almost get murked twice.
Right.
So, but do you think, I think they're going to start calling, I think Republicans are going to start excuse the keys you just dropped, and happy Monday morning. I think Republicans and Democrats are going to start asking Trump to step aside. Because shit's getting dangerous out here now. And as a society, we're unsafe. We just are. And it don't even matter how an individual feels about him politically. Like, it's becoming a huge ripple effect on everybody.
When these assassination things happen, his poll numbers go up. So you
think he's actually happy about this? Like, after the fact?
I think he's delusional, where it's like, I'm so important that somebody wants to kill me.
I've never seen anyone as narcissistic as him.
Never.
Never. I literally don't know anyone.
But if you were a conspiracy theorist, his polls go up.
Which that Loomer is.
But his polls go up, his donations go up. When this happened last time,
the money going to start drying up, though, baby? Because remember, like we were saying, he's going to these empty rallies, and he's literally was supposed to talk about the economy and the border on one. Literally had the stuff on his backdrop. He didn't talk about any of it. He was ranting the whole time.
Federal funding for the California wildfires. If Gavin Newsom didn't, fall in line or something.
If he didn't fall in line.
He didn't say fall in line.
But basically. Sorry, we got quiet. We're walking through the hallway. We have manners. Yeah. So... It's crazy. Dress warm. It's a cold world. See, now you know why the podcast is called Cold World? But you know what ain't cold? This. Coffee. You want a cup, baby? Okay. Little home cafe.
Not ready for all that. It's over 3:30.
It's 4:14.
Oh, 4:14.
Same difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we went to bed kind of early, y'all. We went to bed about 9:30ish.
Something like that.
Yeah. Was watching football all day. Michelle was doing motherly duties, and because her daughter just got a new job, so doing all that. Yep. Good luck on the new job. Yep. For anyone else that's got a new job that might be starting their new job. We've all been on our first day. A little home cafe.
It smells so good.
Want the Nina Simone cup or
no?
This one's good? Okay. Yeah. So we're just chilling, watching the news. It's it's gonna be crazy. It's a crazy world. Just you know what I'm saying. But this coffee ain't cold.
That's good, because I got to cut it.
Got to cut that coffee. That DVJ&MICHELLE coffee. It'll hit your soul. It'll get you right.
Hair on your chest.
That should have put some hair on your chest. That was an old term back in our day. Young people probably don't. Yep, that was a term that, our parents and acquaintances and all that stuff used to say.
I'm assuming you won't have any of this soup with me.
What's that, baby?
I'm assuming you won't have any of this soup with me. It's creamy
Okay, what are we
cauliflower.
working with?
Creamy cauliflower.
Shout out Progresso. Cream. Oh, I'm glad you know what? We were talking about sponsors. Here's an idea I had. That Chewy, that food.
Yeah.
What if we sent them a picture of Chewy?
Maybe.
With a box of their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just send them a picture of Chewy and say, y'all want to coordinate? You know? Yeah, we got to find those sponsors, y'all. Y'all come on with it. It's got to be some Democratic leaning, though. No BS. No. FBI conducted global investigation into apparent Trump assassination attempt. Oh, here's the guy right here. They're interviewing the guy that attempted to. This is like some earlier footage from 2022. He's talking about Ukraine.
All right, joining us now to discuss CNN international anchor Max Foster. Max, good morning. Always wonderful to see you. This is a strange chapter, I suppose, for this person who was detained in connection with the apparent assassination attempt against former President Trump. What more do we know about this episode?
Well, as you can see, he was certainly in Ukraine. He wasn't allowed into the Foreign Legion. He wasn't anything to do with it.
Yep, that dude was a Trump supporter. The guy that tried to kill him. Or that was, supposedly.
I mean, obviously not anymore.
Well, he's not dead, though.
No, but I mean, he obviously isn't a Trump supporter now. You know.
Right.
So something
happened. His son came out with a statement. Basically, and I'm not putting words in his mouth, but the statement kind of sounded like he questions if his dad was really in there to try to hurt Trump. He was saying that in his statement. So, because they were saying dude was like over 500 something feet away. Like, I don't know. Because there's always more.
There's always
more information.
Yeah.
We're only getting probably about 40% of what's going on right now.
Yeah.
So, like, what did your gut tell you, baby, real quick? When you first heard the story, what did you think? Not even about the race or anything, but just...
No, I was thinking, how did he pull this off a second time? Is kind of what I thought. It's just kind of crazy. Because it's just like, how, like there's just no words as to like the craziness that's happening.
And then just like what?
And J.D. Vance basically told Dana Bash to shut up.
And he told her that he's fine with making stuff up.
Yes.
If it will get people talking about. She called dude out.
And here's the thing.
Shout out Dana.
You don't have to make something up to get people to talk about the issues.
Thank you.
Just talk about the issues. And like that this small town needs help is the issue, right?
Right.
So just talk about that. You know, it's like going around the block to get next door.
Right.
If your true message, which it wasn't, but if your true message is we need to help you know, why is you could have come from an angle of why is the federal government not helping these sanctuary towns? Because that's what they're trying to say now. Like, we're just trying to bring to light that, you know, like, asylum seekers are being put into a town, but then they aren't getting federal funding to help them with the surge of population, which is very valid.
Who's sending them there, though?
Well, I'm not sure with those particular people, but there have been instances where Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis were like paying for buses, like when they bused all those people to Martha's Vineyard and just from Florida and dropped them off. Yes. So like, but if your issue is, hey, you know, like you're dropping tens of thousands of people off in a city but not offering them extra aid, that's a problem. Of course it is. So, but talk about that, because that's part of immigration reform, having those systems in place, right? But instead, you make up a bunch of lies about people, about innocent people.
And think no one's gonna you don't think the people down there aren't gonna be like,
and
yo.
You know what ends up happening is that stokes the flame of hatred, and something tragic is going to happen in Springfield, Ohio, and then all they're going to say is, see, they shouldn't have been there in the first place, and this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Kind of like, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like
kind of how
that
when they
guy
say
buying that AR-15 for his son and then wondering why he shot up the school.
Right.
After his son talked about
it's not funny.
shooting up schools.
Right. No. You're right. That makes all the sense right there. Yeah.
Oh, I did ask Marksman Joe how you can fit an AR-15 into a backpack.
Michelle's kid Joe, he loves guns. He's not a danger or nothing.
He's just really into weaponry.
He's just into that stuff.
Which, you know, that's your deal, whatever.
Right.
But
I'm not worried about him shooting something up.
No, because actually him and I talked about it yesterday.
Right.
And he said that father should have never bought his son any guns or taking him hunting if he was talking about murdering people.
Yeah.
But I said, well, how do you even get that in a backpack? And he said that there's foldable, like the stock
so they
part.
basically fold.
Yeah, like the stock part where the ammunition thing and the handle. I don't even know what it is, but you can fold it in half.
Oh, okay.
Because
I was fit it into like a smaller backpack or something.
Right, like when you say rifle, you think of a long arm, you know. But
I think those can be like basically folded in like three different ways.
Yeah, there's kinds that can be folded, which I didn't know that. Yeah, learn something new every day.
Basically, keep yourself safe out here, though.
But yeah, I guess what I was trying to say is instead of just talking about the issues, so if you are concerned about making sure that everyone has proper services and these towns that they're putting the asylum seekers in are not busting at the seams, which is a genuine issue and a concern.
But like you said, baby, in true reality, we have more than enough room in this country for everyone.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they picked that town when it wasn't
I think,
it couldn't fit.
You know what I really believe? I believe that, like, the migrants or whatever, they've been working over there in Springfield for a while. So it's not like this is just some brand new shit. Like the story,
it's not like they just came
something
here.
happened.
No.
The story got finagled. I heard that picture or whatever that all this stuff actually started from wasn't even in that town.
No, and it was like a lady had gotten arrested, but it was like a individual circumstance.
Right, and they tried to paste the picture, tie it to this, and make it this, and then and then everyone just ran with the story. But my point is like, because there's a lot of residents even coming online saying like, hey, like that's not what's really going on here. And like those migrants down there, like we were saying, they're filling a lot of the jobs that some like people don't want to do. People don't want to bust tables. People don't want to work in hotels. People want to, clean hotel rooms up and bust tables and wash dishes and all that kind of shit. Those are the jobs that they're filling. Those are the jobs that some of us Americans act like we're too good to do. Work in restaurants. And I'm telling you, I've worked in good restaurants here in downtown Milwaukee. 99% of the help, people washing the dishes, busting the table, taking your place, giving you food, water, and all that kind of shit is somebody Latin. And I tell you, out of all the restaurants I've worked downtown, I have been either the only black person working there or one of only two, and I am not exaggerating one bit.
Niggas up, call it trunks, the way I'm on it, it's like a new Gotti is amongst us. Good morning, y'all. Good afternoon. Good evening, y'all. I'm just talking shit cause I'm breathing, y'all. I'm just talking shit cause I'm a heathen, y'all. I'm simply MCing, y'all. Good morning, y'all. Good afternoon. Good evening, y'all. I'm just talking shit cause I'm breathing, y'all. I'm just talking shit cause I'm a heathen, y'all. I'm simply MCing, y'all.
I put so much work in this game, 2,000 days to catch me. Rewards are hopping off a plane, Jamaica waves and jet ski. They raise me better. Look around, grown and behave at Bessie. We Viennese, De Niro, Pacino, Pesci. Nigga, my pocket's hefty, Desi, the eagle lefty. Respect me. So far ahead, I'll still be past you if I leave a century. Your demons set me, Benzo, Beamer, Bentley. I got a C no recipe, and the machine that's full of chemo sesame.
I know, and I know there's a small element that goes into it because I know that sometimes, or here in Milwaukee at least, I feel some of the reason that black people don't work in restaurants downtown, I feel a part of that is we don't feel welcome or wanted, or that we'll get hired in some of these spaces downtown. So I feel that that's the reason that goes into it. Although that shouldn't keep you from
getting a job.
Right, but that does happen. That does happen because sometimes as a black or brown person, you don't feel like you would get hired in some of these positions. So it's not always that we don't want those kind of jobs. We don't feel like we will get them sometimes.
Or you just don't feel comfortable.
You don't feel comfortable in this environment. I'm telling you, yeah, because that's true. I can count on one hand the amount of black co-workers that I've worked with in these restaurants. I am not exaggerating one fucking bit. Because most of the people that work there, that are really making the money, that the servers are going to be 9 out of 10 of them are going to be white. The bartender's going to be white. If you do have somebody black working there, they're going to be taking the garbage out. Or, you know what I'm saying? They had a couple black cooks there, but they never lasted long.
They feel worried. They feel like their kids aren't safe here with the bomb threats.
2 local universities closing their campuses with classes going remote after the schools say they received emails making threats of a bomb and a potential shooting on the campuses. At least one of those emails targeting Haitians in the community. A spokesman for Springfield, a city about 40 miles west of Columbus, says bomb threats have targeted the mayor's house and city hall. The mayor says he believes those threats are directly connected to the baseless claims that Haitian migrants were abducting pets in Springfield in order to eat them. City and state officials say there is no evidence this is happening.
I think these discussions about Haitians eating dogs and cats and other things needs to stop.
They're eating the pets.
The claim amplified by former President Trump at the ABC News debate and his running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, who condemns threats of of violence while denying his rhetoric caused them.
Did you denounce the bomb threats in Springfield, Ohio?
I don't know what happened with the bomb threats. I know that it's been taken over by illegal migrants.
If I have to, create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people,
you hear what this clown just said?
You just said that this is a story that you created. So the eating dogs and cats thing is not.
We are creating. Dana, it comes from firsthand accounts from my constituents. I say that we're creating a story, meaning we're creating the American media focusing on it.
Meanwhile, Trump reportedly plans to visit Springfield, Ohio soon, as the Haitian community vows to come together.
We are Haitian. We are who we are. Strong, that's the word that best describes Haitian.
Governor Mike DeWine says there are challenges, including housing and health care, with the number of immigrants moving to Springfield, but that they are there legally and want to work. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Okay, so here's my thing with that, too. So, y'all know, for anyone that's been listening for a while now, y'all know I'm black and Mexican. Father's black, mother's Mexican. You know what I'm saying? And so here's my thing. And it's always, like I said, it's the minority. It's a smaller amount in reality, in true reality, but it's still concerning. And it bothers me when I hear, black and Latin people, or, just any black or brown person. I know I say that a lot, black or brown. I wouldn't be surprised if people have made like a drinking game. They're like, every time you hear DVJ say black or brown, take a shot or a sip, people would probably be drunk as hell. Nah, but my point is, you hear some black and brown people like have a problem with migrants. Because see, there are some people that will say, oh, I'm for, migrants being here, but I want them to do it legally. And then you have, which I think actually is a bigger number, of people that just don't want the migrants here at all. And I had asked Michelle this. I'd asked her thoughts and opinions on it. But I asked her and then I gave her my opinion. I truly believe in my heart that if they were to poll, they do like referendums, like they'll ask like people, how do you feel about marijuana or whatever? Yes or no? I feel like if white people were polled, if they asked white people, just white people, if they said, do you want immigrants in the United States? Yes or no? And it's not like, the question isn't, do you want them here legally? Do you want them here like at all? Do you think it's okay for them to come as long as they do it the right way and all that? Like, none of that. Just the question would be specifically, do you want them here in our country? Yes or no? That's just yes or no. I think the majority of white people will say that they don't want migrants here. I believe at least 60% will say no, that they don't want them here. You know what I'm saying? That's what I truly believe. But, yeah, we all, like Michelle and I talk about again, that's why it's so frustrating, because we have all migrated to this country, from way back in the day. But anyways, but my point about that is, like, you have some black and brown people, they don't want other black and brown migrants in this country. But we sometimes we pick and choose which migrants that we don't want here. Like, I notice there's some black people that they don't want the Latin migrants here because they feel, the Mexicans are coming over and getting city resources and all that. And like I said, and there is some strain, but they're not getting everything that people say they're getting. And here's the other thing. Why wouldn't you want people to be healthy, just in general, whether they speak English, whether they're a different race than you, whether they're a stranger to you? whatever. Why wouldn't we want people to be healthy just in general? If people are coming over here from another country, why wouldn't we want them to be checked out to make sure that they don't have any diseases, or make sure, why wouldn't we? Just why? Just from a humanity standpoint, just being a good human being and just having a natural care about other people, just natural. Why do we fight against that? Oh, they're coming over here, they're getting health and they're getting checked out and they're getting driver's license. Why wouldn't we want someone to come over here to be able to be legal and have a driver's license? So then the alternative would be, let's say an illegal migrant comes over here, they're driving a car and they end up killing one of your family members. And they don't have a driver's license or anything like that, and there's no way to identify them. Then you're going to be saying, oh, well, if they come over here, why don't we know who they are? Why don't they have paperwork? Why don't they have a driver's license? So that we be saying that then. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, it seems like as some of us as black people, we complain about the Latin migrants being here, but we don't complain or say anything about the Haitian migrants being here and what's going on in Springfield and stuff like that. We're just worried about the southern border, and we'll bitch and complain about them coming over here. But we don't bitch and complain about the black Haitian migrants coming over. It's okay for them to be here. We're concerned about them, but not the other migrants. That's what I don't like. It's like, if we don't like migrants, I'm speaking in general, like, I say let them all in. But, like, if we don't like migrants, we shouldn't like them all and not pick and choose. Oh, the Latin migrants are okay, but the Haitians aren't. You know what I'm saying? We can't do that. Because your argument is weak and invalid. If you're complaining about the migration stuff and how, you know what I mean? But then you don't mention or complain about the black Haitians coming over, and vice versa. If you're somebody Latin, you can't only say that you don't like how Latin immigrants are being treated, and like you don't complain about that, but you'll bitch and complain about Haitians coming over and ask them, well, why are they here and all that. It goes both ways, because there's Latin people that do that stuff too. I can't stand it when I played a video clip of it too. There was these couple Mexican dudes, they had Trump hats on and everything, and they were yelling at other Mexican people, telling them to go back to Mexico and get behind the wall and all that. That's what I mean when I say that's an example of acting white. Because although there should be no racism in this world, most of the racism that is practiced is by white people. So that's what I say when I mean acting white, because in a scenario like that, you would think, well, you don't expect anyone to be racist, but I'm saying, but it would be more like if you saw two white people yelling at Mexican people to go back to Mexico, it'd be more, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, that's more realistic because they're white, they're racist. You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean when I say acting white. Acting white doesn't mean by like how a person sounds, like their vernacular, their dialogue, or their words. That's not what that means. And last little thing before I go, for younger people, I know some younger people have an issue with the word respect. They think when like an adult or someone older says that, like that, you know, that respect word, it doesn't mean that someone younger has to kiss your ass. That's not what respect means. You know what I mean? I think some younger people get that word, when they hear that word respect, they tie it to like, oh, I'm just supposed to kiss their butt and bow down. No, it doesn't mean that. It just means having common courtesy and just a level amount of just basic respect just for your fellow human being. That's all. Back to the episode.
Fly niggas wearing they polo cuts. Taking flicks, throwing the photos up. You can't see the liquor through the solo cup, the red or the blue one. Homies got red rum. I cry for them and the newborns. A dark place in the bright light. Watching hidden colors of zeitgeist. Yeah, nigga do the knowledge, but I went to street college, so I copied for the right price. 2 is 4, but if the 5th nigga roll, we gon' turn that $4 into 5 during nightlife. Now go ahead and rewind that. No clothes, but you like my design black. You can have a watch, but you never seen time lapse. I'm a gangster rapper, what you call this a crime rap? Huh? Good question, ain't it? My mind's a weapon, ain't it? Shit I'm spitting for the record, ain't it? A minute longer than a second, ain't it? Check it. Now go ahead, do the countdown. Tell me who you count on. You can count money, but you can't count love. How you write the amount down. Do that. Fuck it, just let me bounce now. Lighting the plane, nigga, I'm outbound. Go. I'm out. D-block in this bitch. Look. Ghost. Hey. You knew I would, did you not? I'm the illest nigga, I kid you not. Smoking, thinking the bigger lot. Come from a city, they get hit in the wiggle lot. If the plug give you extra joints, bring it to the hood, break it down, get some extra points. Noah had devilish ways, argue with kiss. Sour tastes better than haze. Drinking salute us like it's Veterans Day. Every day, little nigga, all the metal will spray. Ghost, don't you chill with the ignorant shit. Yeah, I did, but I'm back on my militant shit.
Here's another example. Remember I was saying like how that acting white thing, that acting white term, you know what I mean? And I gave the example the other day. One example of somebody acting white would be a Mexican telling another Mexican to go back to Mexico. Or, you know, get behind the wall, you shouldn't be here, that type of shit. Because let's face it, most of the racism in this country is done by white people. So we're just giving them the majority of it, right? So that's what I mean. Acting white, because it's more of a white thing to do to practice racism. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I know there's other racist people out here, but the majority of racist people are white. So that's what I mean. So here you have another example of that, where you have some black people that are upset with other black people for supporting the Haitians. You know what I'm saying? More of that acting white, because you would expect, I mean, you don't want anyone to practice racism. But I'm saying, but you would expect, or it'd be more par for the course for you to see somebody white hating on a Haitian, Mike. You know what I'm saying? It would be more, you'd be like, oh, well, that's kind of expected, or, you know, or it's more normal for it to be a white person. That's what acting white means. You have somebody black hating on somebody black. That makes no sense. It's ridiculous. That's what I mean when I say acting white, because that's something a white person would be doing. So let's play this clip. Let's see what they're talking about.
We cannot, Williams of the NAACP. And as you can see, I'm surrounded by family of all races, of all walks of Springfield. I'm calling on our white community, our black community, our Haitian community, our Mexican community. We need to come together. We cannot embrace violence. We will not embrace hatred. We are a city of love, a city of compassion. And what is happening in our city right now is absolutely unbelievable. I am calling on Trump. I'm calling on J.D. Vance to retract their messages.
You can forget that. Them racists ain't doing that shit. Idiots. They're idiots.
Ohio. We are already on edge. But with the comments from our government has made it worse. So I'm calling on them as the president of NAACP. As my state president, I'm speaking on his behalf as well, Mr. Tom Roberts. We need peace in our community. It is time to embrace each other. It is time to dispel the rumors. No, they are not stealing from Walmart. No, the reason why the cabinets are locked are not because we have Haitians here. They've been locked for years. No, they are not eating cats. And as our government said, dogs. We haven't seen one account of that. And let me assure you that if that was happening here in our city, I would have received complaints about it. Let me reassure you of that. So to my community, we are here to love each other. We are not going to tear up where we live. So I am calling for all of us in this Springfield, Ohio community. Let's come together in peace. Let's come together in love. Let's come together in harmony. This is our place of living. You have Haitians here who are engineers, business people. They are raising a family just like we are. Just because their skin is dark don't mean that they are here to destroy our city. We have got to get our minds in a whole different mindset. We are getting lots of different people within our community. So I am thankful for this gathering. What we need in this city right now is prayer. What we need in this city right now is more love. So I am calling on the entire community. Please put your arms around each other.
And I'll just add to that. See what I'm saying? Because it's crazy that this black woman has to get up there and speak. And it's a small amount of black people that have an issue. You know? It's like, how are you going to be mad at someone that looks like you coming over here and trying to thrive? You know what I mean? And it's mostly white people that have an issue with it. But she's speaking to everyone in general, because it even says that, you know, that that means a small amount. Some black and brown people have an issue with other black and brown people coming over here and trying to live a better life. You heard what the woman said. We need to come together. And I know that's a tough word. Let's come together. I know that's damn near impossible. You know what I mean? Because but that takes a lot to happen. But yeah, man, I like this lady's attitude. She's just like, man, we all need to understand what's going on here. Because you know what happens as black and brown people when we're sitting here fussing and fighting and arguing with each other over who should get what, who should be in line first, who should get this, who should get that. That white man sitting there laughing at all of us while we fight with each other. And I'm sick of hearing Republicans and then people that are just uninformed or just don't know what's going on. They keep saying that, the Democrats are sending all these migrants. No. It's Republicans doing that. Y'all do your research, as everyone says. Governor Greg Abbott out of Texas, the wheelchair-bound governor, he's been sending migrants to Chicago and Colorado and all that. Ron DeSantis, he's been doing it. These are Republicans that are doing this stuff. Do your damn research instead of just saying stuff.
I'm saying there's no room here for the hatred that's coming into our city. We will not stand for it. We are not our ancestors. We are here and we are going to live here. So I'm advising everybody to the government, retract your statement. Send an apology to the city. Look what you have done. We are already on the edge.
Yeah. Tariq Nasheed and FBI MAGA cult group are mad that African Americans are in solidarity with Haitians. Black Americans in Springfield, Ohio stand in solidarity with Haitians as NAACP Springfield demands an apology from Donald Trump. Say no to racism and xenophobia. We are one people. We truly are, but our minds can't get wrapped around that. But shout out to this lady. But yeah, it's just crazy. And like I said, it's a small amount of black and brown people that'll be hating on each other. But it's enough to cause confusion and shit like that. So yeah, but that's what that acting white means. Is when black and brown people try to hold each other down, or they have an issue with other black people getting ahead, but then won't ever complain or have an issue with white people being racist or, treating us like shit. Yeah. Back to
We
that
did not
episode,
need
yeah.
that comment. So next time you make a comment, Mr. Government, let's make sure you do your homework. Let's make sure that you look into the allegations. Let's stop this negativity that you are spreading all over the country. Can you believe it? Springfield made CNN. We are up on the debate panel. How ridiculous. And you're going to spread the word that they're eating cats. I can tell you right now, when you go into Walmart, they're spending their money just like us. Folks are complaining about their cart is full of food. Have you seen mine? Have you seen my cart when I go to Walmart? The hatred needs to end, and I am here with the clergy, with the friends of the community, with my pastors. We are here because we don't need negative remarks made about our city.
Period. And like I said, it's mostly white people doing the hating and spreading the bullshit. Guess I got one more video for y'all to check out. This video is of this lady, and she's just basically saying that, you know, some of her Democrat, you know, friends, and this lady is a Republican, but she's saying some of her Democrat colleagues and just, you know, people in her life and stuff gave her the real scoop. They let her know the real, true dealio about what's going on down there in Springfield, Ohio. Because, you know, like that J.D. Vance and that clown orange man, Trump, you know what I'm saying? They're just, they just say stuff just to stoke fear in people. And, you know, 9 out of 10 people don't check the stuff he says. If they're supporting him, they just believe it. And they just take it and run with it. They don't do no digging, no checking to make sure, you know what I'm saying? And half of them don't even care what he says. They just want to vote for him so bad. But that's what, like, dude's like not even a young man. It's not, he's not even somebody that, like, Republicans or the MAGAs or whatever the hell they are, he's not even somebody they can get behind for a long period of time now. The man's 80 fucking years old. He's not even going to be alive in 5 years probably. That's why it's going to be so fascinating just to see that party, the MAGA, the Republican, whatever, that party. It's going to be really funny just to see that party have to totally pick itself up, clean up all the spilled milk, try to get the toothpaste that's out the tube back in. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I'm going to love to sit back and just see their party implode. But anyways, this is this lady, and she's a Republican. And she's saying, you know, thanks to the Democrats basically for putting her up on game and letting her know what's really going on there in Springfield. Because it ain't as bad as they're making it sound. You know, the majority of the migrants that come down there, like the Haitian migrants and stuff like that, they're working. They're here legally, and they're working, and they're doing a lot of the jobs that are open. You know why they're open, a lot of them jobs? Because some of us black and white people, we act like we're too good to do certain type of jobs, like bussing tables, cleaning hotel rooms, you know, that kind of stuff. And I know what I'm talking about because I've worked in restaurants for a number of years, good ones. And I've seen it, the majority of the help, the people bussing tables, running the food out, cleaning the tables, bringing you your water and bread and clearing your table and plates and all that and washing the dishes and taking the garbage out and all that kind of stuff. The majority of those individuals are Latin people, whether it's a man or a woman. And out of all the restaurants I've worked at, I've only seen, and I am not exaggerating one bit, every restaurant I've ever worked at, I've never worked there with more than 2 black people. Never, no place. I've worked at Carnivore. I worked at the it's Hotel Metro, but the restaurant is called something different in there. But so I worked in a few really good places. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen it all. I know how that shit goes. So, because the Mexican people I know, like I was telling you, it's one dude I know. His name is Leo. Shout out Leo. I'm going to try to get Leo on my podcast. But there's a communication barrier. You know, his English isn't that well. But I'm going to try to get on some translating, you know, and ask him my questions in Spanish. And then he can give me his answers back in Spanish. And then I can just translate it back into English. And then, so we'll see how that goes. I'm working on that, though. But that man do work 2 jobs. He used to work at like a restaurant on the south side from like 6 in the morning to like 2 in the afternoon. And then he'd go home literally for maybe about 30 minutes, and then he'd come to Carnivore and work at Carnivore till 10, 11 o'clock at night. 5 days a week. 5 days a week. Yeah, so. But let's play this clip.
Strategic time. Well, I'm sorry to say, folks, I did not see the forest through the trees when I've been sharing content, information about Springfield, Ohio, and the horrible lie that the Republican Party has been sharing. Thanks to Heather Cock-Richardson, I am now painfully awake at what's going on there. And here it is. They pushed this lie, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, the GOP, about Springfield, Ohio, at a very strategic time. Because it was also at this time that big news would be breaking about the MAGA Republican running for the Senate position against incumbent Democrat Sherrod Brown. Big news about Bernie Moreno, that he stole from his constituents.
It's about 2.5 minutes left, y'all.
Like George Soros has lied about his background, lied about a lot of things. And the reason they needed to create a distraction was because this is the one Senate race where Republicans can actually win back the Senate, win the majority of the Senate. And nobody is supposed to be knowing about this news that came out about Bernie Moreno.
It's that coffee.
Bernie Moreno was just busted for stealing $9.5 million of his constituents' donations after he won the Republican primary a little over a month ago.
There's a couple reasons right there. I'm going to go grab these clothes, y'all. So I'm going to pause this and we'll be right back. I'll finish the article. It's about 2 more minutes left of it. Okay.
$9.5 million from the campaign, his own campaign. And he used it to buy property in Ohio that through a $40 million deal, he would be opening up a Mercedes-Benz dealership. Bernie Moreno running for Ohio Senate in Ohio. He also lied about having a master's in business, an MBA from University of Michigan. He only has a bachelor's degree. And this has been exposed. And it goes all the way back to years ago when he applied to open a dealership in Florida. He lied on all the applications and said he had an MBA from the University of Michigan. All of America's conversation right now. And Bernie is one of the earliest people to take that screenshot and share the lie. Bernie, who's from Colombia, wants to deport all people who are here on, as migrants or what have you, and have them all start from scratch. Bernie pushes all sorts of lies about fentanyl, when it was actually Sherrod Brown who successfully passed regulations to slow the flow.
This lady's doing her research.
Bernie wants to make it so anybody who comes here and becomes an American citizen legally cannot have any access for 10 years to any government assistance
What?
or resources of any kind. And that includes Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, everything that they are paying into. 10 years.
Enough said right there, right? Do your research, y'all. Don't let your eyes and ears lie to you, and don't just let people just say stuff to you and just have you believe in it, man. Like, yeah, that's some sheep mentality. All right, y'all, back to the episode.
Say I never lied, that's a fucking lie. But who the fuck are you? Who the fuck am I? My mind is a prison and I'm stuck inside. Suck a 9, fuck a 9. Get that money now, I don't know about another time. I only rhyme cause I love to rhyme. I work hard and yeah, me and the plug is fine. Can flood any hood with a ton of dimes. But I show my son my other side. Tell my daughter how it goes when a mother rides. On some other shit, love a rubber grip and keep flip. Moe on the yacht, never see slip. We get back home, you can see sick. You ain't got to look at the toilet to see shit.
Peace and blessings, y'all. It's Monday. It's Monday, September 16th, y'all. Hope y'all weekend was good. You know what I'm saying? Packers got a nice victory. If y'all are listening from Wisconsin, so go Pack Go. You know what I'm saying? And it's time to take on the week. New week here. Man, the months are just flying by. We're already through the middle of September. Yeah. It's going to be time for NBA basketball in another 4 or 5 weeks. Looking forward to that. This is the best time of year, though. I love it. And then before you know it, March Madness is going to roll around. But on some serious stuff, though, Trump needs to drop out the race. And or his people need to start, like, telling dude, like, you need to, like, just quit, drop out this race. You're making the country unsafe and unsettled. You know what I mean? At this point, like, that's a second assassination attempt now or whatever, potentially. You know what I mean? So, if that's what is really going on there. But, no matter how you look at it, this is the fact. No matter how you personally feel about Trump, now everyone knows by now that I hate Donald Trump. I wish nothing but the worst for him. You know, I don't want him to win. I hope he goes to prison, all that stuff. But, you know, despite how anyone feels about him, he's making the country very unsafe with his behavior. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, one could say, oh, well, the people that are actually, you know, trying to kill him or trying to do it's you know, it's they're the ones that are doing it. Yeah, but he's sparking people's anger. You know what I'm saying? And this individual that, you know, supposedly tried to take him out or whatever is a Trump supporter. This guy, he's a Trump supporter. He's a Republican, all that shit. So that just lets you know right there how burnt out people are of Donald Trump, man. He needs to go. He's making this country unsafe. He's 80 years old. You know what I'm saying? The only reason he's running for president is so he can avoid prison. We all know that. Yeah, it's time. Don't be surprised if his people, between his people and just the public in general, and just like, you know, Democrats and stuff too, just start asking. Don't be surprised if they start asking for him to step down. I've never seen anything like this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's to the point now where, like, yeah, shit is getting real hectic out here. So I'm looking for them to start asking dude to drop out this race. You know what I'm saying? And they can just start repairing their little party, but like dudes, And like I said, I've never liked the Republican Party, but Trump is totally just fucking their whole little party all the way up. They're going to have to, just all the shit they're going to have to do to repair that party when he's finally done. And it's crazy, too, that someone that's not even a political figure, he's literally, technically, not even a political figure, but he has all this say. How are you going to kill a border deal and you're not even a politician? He wasn't even a politician. And he's running around throwing his weight around. Yeah, that's crazy as fuck. Yeah. Trump ain't winning. They're running around here lying and shit. That J.D. Vance is admitting lying and making shit up. Like this shit, this is crazy now. What's going on down there in Ohio? Yeah, Trump's got people upset, and that's a ripple effect of his negative behavior. You know what I'm saying? People are sick of him, man. People want just some normalcy back to the country, just that normal vibe. We just want to get that normal vibe back. I never ever thought I would say that President Bush was a normal Republican. No, I take that back. He was a little racist too. Yeah. The George W. Bush, yeah. He was dangerous too. He was dangerous. But compared to Trump, you know what I'm saying? It's like child's play. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Bush was a little danger too. But yeah, but other than that, you know, it's Monday morning. Got the day off. It's going to be checking out the news, see what's going on with this stuff. It's like you got to pay attention to what's going on out here, though. You know what I'm saying? But people need to like be able to, and I know it's super tough because the mind is the hardest thing to change. It truly is. Getting someone to see something different or think a different way is damn near impossible. Especially when their heels are dug in, and then when you throw race and class and all that kind of stuff into the equation, it makes it tough. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get to this episode. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Like I said again, yeah. And with that, enjoy today's episode.
It could be a bomb or some grits and eggs. And Bush, oh my God. That little munchkin ought to be somewhere helping Santa Claus. Gonna get us into World War VI. We going right past 3. He talked more shit than Jesse Jackson. He just kept coming, didn't he? Because white people are very sensitive. You have to remember that. Oh, they kill me with their sensitivity. So sensitive. It'll be some won't make this. Oh, they'll get out of here. Look like little white bunny rabbits. They'll hop out of this motherfucker. This lady leaving now. Look at her. She's leaving now. Yeah. I hope when you get home, niggas are burglarizing your house. Good night, man. They can't take it. I'm telling you, I know white folks. They can't take. She got the fuck out of here, didn't she? They can't take it. Because all of their lives, they've been told they're the shit. White people always tell you, you're the best, you're everything, you're wonderful, you come from heaven, you're everything. You've never done nothing to nobody. You wear the white hat, you're the good fucking guy. And the minute they hear a nigga talking about it, freaks them. Because I study white audience. You can laugh at anybody, because white folks will talk about nigga, you'll laugh. And the minute it's about you, white, you get that fucking bag, that no sense of humor about yourself. Fuck you. You can be talked about too. This is America. Fuck you. Fuck you. You can be talked about too, motherfucker. See, I'm busy. I can't come. I'm busy.